Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This one's wife. Angelina Jolie slaps this one's wife at Tony Awards? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. What do you get when you take a narcissist psychopath, a middle, greater elite, and put her in the same room as a middle, mid-range, faux royal narcissist? Well, if certain providers of information are to be believed, it results in chaos, as Angelina Jolie slapped this one's wife on stage at 2024 Tony Awards for bullying her daughter Vivi. What vile behaviour is this that this one's wife engaged in? Bullying a child again? There are reports, of course, that she bullied Charlotte. And yet here, is she up to her old tricks, being the bully so that she picks on a largely defenceless child? Has she done this to assert control over that non-intimate tertiary source, but without realising the collateral consequence of the lurking figure of Angelina Jolie, who then steps in to defend her daughter and roundly slaps this one's wife, an open-hand Will Smith assault on the chops? Did it send her head flying backwards? Did it snap back, loosening some extensions perhaps? Did her whole face quiver as a consequence of the Botox being knocked out of place? Did her nose shift several degrees north as a consequence of the bitch slap that she received from Angelina Jolie? Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there, valuable viewers, to ascertain what's gone on, and that is to convey to you the content of a video that has been submitted by something called Royal Trend. This explains Angelina Jolie made headlines around the world by slapping this one's wife on stage. This shocking incident erupted after Jolie accused this one's wife of bullying her daughter. The dramatic event has sparked a firestorm of controversy, with opinions sharply divided over the actions of both women. The Tony Awards are known for celebrating the best of Broadway, but they took an unexpected turn when Angelina Jolie, a presenter for the evening, confronted this one's wife, who was in attendance to support her friend and Broadway mogul. However, we're not told who that was. But apparently, this one's wife was blindsided when Jolie marched onto the stage and delivered the slap, heard around the world. My goodness me, that must have been a hell of a slap, mustn't it? Did you hear it? I must confess I didn't, but then I was in a bunker at the time, so perhaps that's why it didn't meet my conch-like ears. Nevertheless, witnesses described the scene as chaotic. Jolie was visibly agitated and accused this one's wife of bullying her daughter, a claim that has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. Security quickly intervened, and the show continued, but the incident has left many questioning the dynamics between these two high-profile figures. According to sources close to Jolie, the actress had been privately fuming over what she describes as this one's wife's unacceptable behaviour towards her 15-year-old daughter. While details remain sparse, insiders suggest that the bullying allegations stem from a series of incidents during a charity event both families attended last year. The plot thickens. The daughter, who has been involved in various philanthropic activities with her mother, reportedly confided in her mother about feeling targeted and mistreated by this one's wife. The specifics of these accusations are yet to be fully disclosed, according to this video, but the gravity of the situation led Angelina Jolie to take her grievances public in an unprecedented manner. This one's wife is yet to issue an official statement regarding the incident. However, sources close to her have vehemently denied the allegations, calling them baseless and defamatory. This One's Wife supporters argue that Jolie's actions were unprofessional and unbecoming of the celebrated actress and humanitarian. The Duchess of Sussex, no stranger to public scrutiny, finds herself once again at the centre of a media storm. This One's Wife detractors have seized upon the incident to further criticise her, while her supporters rally to her defence, arguing that Jolie's actions were excessively dramatic and unwarranted. The public reaction has been swift and polarised. Social media platforms have been ablaze with commentary, with hashtags like #Jolie versus This One's Wife and #Tony Awards drama trending worldwide. One user wrote, "Angelina did what needed to be done. This One's Wife has been hiding behind her royal title for too long, and it's about time someone stood up to her." Another commented, "This just confirms what we've always known about This One's Wife's character. Kudos to Angelina for protecting her daughter." On the other side, This One's Wife's defenders argue that Jolie's actions were a publicity stunt. A prominent This One's Wife supporter tweeted, "This was a calculated move by Jolie to tarnish This One's Wife's reputation. It's sad to see women tearing each other down like this." This incident raises broader questions about celebrity behaviour and the scrutiny faced by public figures. The entertainment industry, already rife with tension and rivalry, has been further inflamed by this public altercation. While some see Jolie's actions as a mother's instinct to protect her child, others view it as a reckless and damaging move. The allegations of bullying, if proven true, could have serious repercussions for This One's Wife, whose public image has already been subject to intense criticism over the years. Conversely, if the claims are found to be exaggerated or unfounded, Jolie could face backlash for resorting to physical confrontation instead of addressing the issue privately. Well, is this an instance of a narcissistic psychopath and a narcissist colliding? That This One's Wife's behaviour, by purportedly bullying the daughter of Angelina Jolie, threatened Angelina Jolie's need for control, resulted in a clinical response of addressing her and giving her a slap in public at an awards ceremony. Well, the internet tells us that a channel called Royal Secrets also has a video. Angelina Jolie slaps This One's Wife on stage at the 2024 Tony Awards for bullying her daughter, and something called UK Royal Trends also reports on the matter. Royal Saga explains Angelina Jolie warns This One's Wife to stay off her daughter at the 2024 Tony Awards after heated exchange. Royal Saga also reports humiliating Angelina Jolie dragged This One's Wife off at 2024 Tony Awards event after she bullied her daughter, Vivienne. Royal Review tells us, "I must strike back. This One's Wife's outburst as Angelina Jolie slaps her at 2024 Tony Awards." UK Royal updates. Angelina Jolie slams This One's Wife for continued disrespect of the royal family at 2024 Tony Awards. So there, it's changed. It's not for bullying her daughter, it's for disrespecting the royal family. Who knew that Angelina Jolie was such a firm royalist? Royal Coffee tells her, "Get her out." Angelina Jolie called security on uninvited This One's Wife at the 2024 Tony Awards. The Real Royal Gist reports Angelina Jolie slaps This One's Wife at the 2024 Tony Awards. Crush Vibes reports, "I must get back at you. This One's Wife planned revenge as Angelina Jolie slaps her at the 2024 Tony Awards." Crown's Information, "I'll hit you again. Angelina Jolie slapped This One's Wife at," yes, you already know where it was, the Tony Awards of 2024. It won't come as much surprise to you to learn that despite these very similar sounding channels explaining that there was a supposed altercation, it doesn't appear anywhere else. It's not reported in mainstream media. There hasn't been the hashtags that were reported. There hasn't been widespread coverage in relation to this supposed incident across social media either. Notwithstanding that fact, the video that was released on UK Royal Trends just 15 hours ago has hit nearly 14,000 views, which demonstrates once again these channels, which don't have particularly many subscribers, are still being used to pump out errant nonsense. Interestingly, it would appear that at least some people are now starting to understand that this is nonsensical. For instance, one person reports it'd be all over the media, wouldn't it? As was Will Smith. Another points out, so where is the video? I don't believe this happened. Just clickbait of the sordid kind. Not that I like this one's wife at all. Now prove it. Somebody else states, wrong, one celebrated A-lister and one yacht girl. Another writes, don't believe this. Another, this is pure BS. Next, yep, it would be if it was true, but find that a lot of these are fake, no real evidence. I love stories like this. Somebody else writes, if it was true, it would have been all over the news and YouTube. Where do you get your news? No one has heard any of this BS. I hate this one's wife, but if that happens, it'd be headline news everywhere. But there are still those that seem to believe it. That's a mother protecting her child. You mess with someone's child, they are probably not going to send you a thank you note. Another message is quite possible. Gee, oh, this one's wife would do anything to get her name in public. But for the most part, those that have commented suggest that it's a load of nonsense, which is good to see that whilst it's had lots of views, there are at least some people that have seen through that it's a lot of nonsense. But as I've explained to you previously, I bring this to your attention to help you understand that there are those YouTubers who undertake a forensic examination of the things that this one's wife has done. I forensically examine her from the position of her narcissism, explaining why she does as she does, what causes her to behave in the way that she does, why she does the things that she does and says the things that she does, because so many people don't actually understand that it's driven by her narcissism. There are other channels that report in a way of investigating what she's been doing. They do a deep dive into background information. They go and look for evidence. They find things out and comment about it. I don't do so much of that. I am party to certain information, but I wouldn't be able to convey it to you because it would compromise my identity. And therefore, I leave it for other channels to unearth the information, and I can then utilize the fruits of their discoveries in certain instances to then explain it from the narcissistic perspective. There are other channels which, of course, just entirely speculate about this one's wife and a little more than places of gossip. But there are some very good YouTubers that spend considerable amounts of time and effort forensically identifying information and putting it together, going behind the scenes, going down various corridors of information and present it to enable the less well-known aspects of this one's wife's background and behaviours to be brought to the fore. This one's wife hates that they do that. This one's wife cannot stand that those people engage in that behaviour because it threatens her control, because it disrupts the facade that she wants to present to the world. By bringing up information about suspect financial dealings, about her behaviours vis-a-vis Soho House in the past, all of the things that these forensic YouTubers have unearthed and put together threaten her need for control. And thus, she wants those channels removed, she wants them demonetized, she wants them taken down. And the way that she does so is to suggest that they are haters spreading disinformation. We saw the way that she went after the Sidley twins by suggesting that they were the sole purveyors of disinformation in relation to what the First Lady of Nigeria stated. As we know, we all heard what she said. It was all plain as day that she was effectively criticising this one's wife, and then she got lent on to change her view, suggesting that it wasn't a criticism. But then it went further. There was the smearing of the Sidley twins by suggesting that they were responsible for the spread of disinformation. One, they were not the only ones that commented about what the First Lady stated, far from it, and two, it wasn't disinformation. But that gives you just a glimpse at what this one's wife wants to do with regard to stopping people talking about her, shining a light on her behaviours. She wants to stop people knowing what really goes on, because all of that is a threat to her control. And channels such as this UK Royal Trends and all the other ones that I mentioned that pump out this nonsense, which is blatant clickbait, are playing right into her hands. Because what it means is she can point to this and say, that is clear nonsense. It's defamatory. It's completely untrue. And anybody can see that that's the case. Thus, were she to complain to the relevant powers that be, she would likely be able to have the videos and channel taken down. But the problem is that she utilises the existence of channels such as UK Royal Trends, disseminators of clearly untrue information, as merely the start. Because she is then seeking to persuade others, look at all of this nonsense that's written about me. I've already given you 10 examples of these channels, where here are some more. And it's a classic tactic by a narcissist to choose damning information and then put alongside it less damning information, less clear information, but bundle it all together for the purposes of persuading somebody, look at all of these lies about me. And unless somebody looks at it in a forensic fashion, they're likely, often underpaid, overworked, to think, yeah, I can see those are blatant lies. I guess if she's telling me those ones are as well, I'll accept her word for it. And thus, it moves into dangerous territory, because it then means that those channels that are holding her to account, by scrutinising her behaviour, by examining the evidence, by unearthing that evidence, become tarred with the same brush as the nonsense channels. And that's why it's important to bring this to your attention. This isn't clickbait to get you to watch it in relation to the preposterous headline. I'm pretty sure that most of you saw the title of the video and thought, well, this is likely to be a load of bollocks that HG's pointing out to us again. The real purpose of highlighting this for you is not the salacious nature of the allegations in relation to an event that did not take place, but it is to highlight to you the danger of these channels and how they impact upon others who are seeking to expose the truth of this one's wife's behaviour. Channels which you undoubtedly enjoy, channels that inform you, like this one does, and to ensure that by watching these idiot channels, by allowing them prominence, it plays into this one's wife's hands. And that's something that you need to have regard to. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.